Echo and HarperAudio present Talk to Me, a novel by T.C. Boyle. Performed by Stacey Glemboski. To Kathleen Elizabeth Boyle, 1950 to 2019. I am Sam. I am Sam. Sam I am. Dr. Seuss. Green Eggs and Ham. 1. To tell the truth. She wasn't studying. Studying was what she was supposed to be doing, what she intended to do, what she was going to start doing any minute now. First, though, she had to wait for the album to finish. The new Talking Heads, with its bass-heavy rendition of Take Me to the River, which she couldn't get enough of, and click through all the channels on the TV, while absorbing her daily dose of disodium guanylate, autolyzed yeast extract, and rendered chicken fat in her top ramen, which was about the only thing she was eating lately. It was cheap and fast, and that was all that mattered. Not that she was happy about it, she knew she had to start eating better, but she hadn't actually cooked anything even remotely healthy for weeks, and then it was only pasta with a red sauce out of a jar, and a wedge of iceberg lettuce on the side and maybe a pickle or two. Were pickles healthy? They prevented scurvy. She'd read that somewhere. Columbus had stocked them on the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria for that purpose. But then, she wasn't on a ship at sea, but in her efficiency apartment in university housing, and the problem was time. And will. Work, school, work, school. It was as if she were on a stationary bicycle, pedaling furiously, going nowhere. The top ramen, lime shrimp, was boiling on the stove. Her books were spread out on the old steamer trunk from Goodwill she used as a coffee table. She was going to eat and study at the same time, then maybe go for a walk around the block, and come back and study till it was time to go to bed, which lately had been anywhere from 11 to 2, depending on how bored she was and how hopeless the quest for her degree seemed at any given moment. But first she clicked the remote, just to see what was on, and the screen came alive to a scrum of earnest figures in cleats and helmets, chasing a little brown ball across an expanse of gleaming grass. She clicked again. Sitcom. Again. The news. Once more. Game show. The game show was one she used to watch back at home, and as soon as the logo appeared on the screen, she felt a quick, sharp pang of nostalgia. She and her sister stretched out on the living room rug, doing their homework, their mother in the recliner, rattling the cubes in her second or third vodka and soda, one lark at her lips, and the other smoldering in the ashtray. And the show, comforting in its banality, everything preordained and usual, the panel of celebrities nobody had ever heard of, apart from the de facto evidence, Kitty Carlisle, straining to be witty and urbane, Middle America's entree into a world of martinis and limos and lathered-on makeup. 3 men materialized out of the shadows to introduce themselves, each claiming to be Guy Schermerhorn. 2 older and wearing glasses, 1 younger and not, before taking their seats, stage right, at the desk reserved for the contestants. The celebrity panel was seated across from them, stage left, and it was their task to determine which 2 were the imposters and which the original, the one telling the truth. She didn't have time for this, but then she did, because the affidavit the host read out wasn't the usual sort of thing at all. Guy Schermerhorn wasn't the pedestrian husband of a hypersexualized actress, or a race car driver recognizable only with his crash helmet on, or the discoverer of a new element for the periodic table, but a researcher who, he claimed, was teaching apes to talk. She'd heard about that.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?